Okay, Devin, crowdfunding corner for the week of February. I think this will be 7th when this goes live. There are, I think, 6 projects here that I wanted to give a shout out that are ending in like the next 5 to, I don't know, 14 days. And I think all of them this week are on Kickstarter, but sometimes they're on Gamefound or other crowdfunding platforms. This first one is a trilogy of expansions. This company, Garfield Games, they make games so fast, I don't even know how anyone keeps up with them. They kind of make them in trilogies as well, where they had Architects of the West Kingdom, Paladins of the West Kingdom, and is it Scholars of the West Kingdom? I can't remember. And I have Architects, but I don't have the other two. Those came out in like a boom, boom, boom period. And then they have a whole other trilogy before that. And then the South Tigris trilogy already has Wayfarers and Scholars and Inventors out. Anyways, this campaign is for an expansion for all 3 of those games and like a campaign expansion that ties all 3 of them together. Kind of crazy. I don't have any of those 3 yet. I'm so far behind on Garfield stuff, but they do really excellent games. So I am not the right person to talk about this expansion, but if you like their games, they have a very, I wouldn't say cult following, a very dedicated following of people that play and buy their games. So you probably already know if you're interested in this one or not. I do like the artwork. They use this same artist in most of their games. I think his nickname is the Micho, and he does very cool artwork, and they kind of stick to a similar iconography style. So if you've played one of their games, you'll probably understand like most of the iconography going into the next one. You'll still have to read the rulebook. They're pretty complex games, but I think that's a cool thing that they do. So anyways, check out this campaign if you like Garfield games and have any of the South Tigris trilogy, because there's an expansion for each and that campaign expansion. You can see a lot of people like them, and there's 6 days left, so it ends on February 12th. So that's this coming Wednesday. Okay, next up is a game called Baghdad. This is from Alley Cat Games, who I really like them as a publisher. They make really cool games, or publish them. This game is designed by Fabio Lopiano, and I'm not going to pronounce his name right, but I think it's Nestore Mangone. Especially Lopiano, super famous board game designer, and this is a pretty complex game. I think Alley Cat Games puts it in their advanced line, so it's definitely not simple. But you are trying to be like the best ruler, I think, of Baghdad, and you're building up this like central building and moving along this giant circular board. Has a very cool vibe. I wanted to show the board here. I think it's pretty cool looking. I like a circular board for some reason. Make it a circle, and I'm like, oh, it's not a square.
Take my credit card.
Yeah. And then I give them my circular credit card.
Wonderful.
Yeah. I don't know too much more about this game, but I think it looks very cool. With their games, I usually wait for retail. But you won't get the fancy stuff and like the included expansion. But most of their games do come to retail. I just can't kickstart everything. I don't have enough money, you know. So, very cool looking game. Kind of a unique theme too, in my opinion. All right. That's, I think, all I wanted to say about this one. I'm just, here's some of the other games they've designed. Autobahn, Shackleton Base, and now Baghdad. So, I'm just kind of scrolling at this point. We're going to go back up to the top. This one ends on the 13th on Kickstarter. That is Baghdad. Okay, this next one, I hadn't even seen before today, and I am very, I don't know if surprised or impressed by how many people are backing. It almost says 11,000 backers.
Wow.
So almost $600,000. This game is called A Place for All My Books, and it's a pretty simple but kind of cool and mostly cute looking game from a company called Smirk and Dagger. They make really cool games, so this game might be getting hype just from the publisher. I think they are pretty well liked. In this game, you are kind of an introvert person that likes books a lot, and you will spend a lot of your time organizing your book collection on like your cabinets with these cool looking book pieces. But then when you have kind of built up enough energy, I think they even show it here as like your social battery. Again, very introverted thing to say, which is kind of how I operate, but I've spent enough time inside, I'm feeling like recharged. Then you can send your player out of their house, out to like the bookstore to buy new books, or the library, to the exchange, or to the shop to do different things. But everything you do out there costs some of that social battery. And so it eventually will like run back down, and then you have to go back home, which is both clever as a gameplay like mechanism, where you can only do a few things out of the house before you have to go back and organize and read your books, I guess. But it's kind of also clever how it matches like how introverts generally recharge their batteries, which is by not recharged by other people, but recharged by kind of seclusion and organization and that kind of thing. I think it looks really cool.
Are those
Cool
book
artwork.
meeples?
Yeah, what would you call those?
Oh my goodness, I want one of those
Yeah,
just to
cool.
carry around with me.
Yeah, they're pretty little, but they look cool. They look nice when they're stacked. There's two different versions of this game. The regular version is $35, and its pieces are just slightly less fancy. And then they have one for, what is it, 45 or 50? Yeah, $50. And then the box actually looks like a, let me see if we got the deluxe edition right here. I can probably, yeah, it looks like a book. Has like a magnetic clasp and looks like pages, and like it has a binding. Has a premium gold foil print on those wooden pieces. And then some wooden pieces here that are probably cardboard in the base one. But I think those are the main differences. Let's look at the standard. Oh, it also has a sleeve, I guess. Standard edition here. The books still look cool. It's just not gold foil, but it still has like printing heat transfer on it. And then, yeah, these are all cardboard punch outs, and there's no like print on the cloth bag and print on the meeples and stuff. So a little bit less fancy, but still looks pretty good. So pretty simple game, but I do like the like organization of the books. There's like some, not like a contract, but some projects you're trying to complete that's like have a book of, oh yeah, this one, have 6 books of each color, or on a single square have like 3 of the same color stacked or whatever. So it's kind of a spatial puzzle of how you stack your books at home as well before you go out and get new ones and stuff. Anyways, that is A Place for All My Books. It's doing very well on Kickstarter. Also ends on Thursday, the 17th. That's not right. In 7 days on the 13th. Okay, next up is a bundle project from Allplay with 3 different games. Twinkle Twinkle, Merchants of Andromeda, from the good doctor
Reiner Knizia.
That's right, Devin knows his name. And Waddle. So let's take a look at these real quick. There's 3 games in this bundle, and if you get them all in their $97 bundle, you get every upgrade and expansion that they're including here included as well, which I think they value at like $45 or something. So Twinkle Twinkle is this first game. In this one, you are, well, we'll look at how each of them play in just a sec. Here is Merchants of Andromeda, and here is Waddle. And you can see like for $7 extra, you can get like mini expansions for the different games. And what is this? Oh, a $19 expansion. Or if you pay $97, which is I think they say $45 less. Yeah, 45. Then you get all that stuff and don't have to pay for the expansion stuff. Anyways, so the 3 different games. First one is called Twinkle Twinkle. If I click here, where do you take me? Yeah, Twinkle Twinkle. 30 minutes, 1 to 4 players. You are drafting these cool transparent like tiles, and you'll fill your star chart with like planets and moons and satellites and stars and stuff. It has a cool looking color palette and vibe. I don't know too much more about how the game plays, but it does look very cool. I like the see-through tiles. Very what's the word I'm looking for? It's a very board game vein of me to judge a game by its transparent tiles.
How could you?
But they do look very cool. Okay, next game is... Wow, there's a lot here. Why we love Twinkle Twinkle. Merchants of Andromeda. This was the one by Reiner Knizia. And in this game, it says you're trying to get the most money, and you do that by drawing cards. You'll choose to discard one, keep one, or not one, I guess. Discard, keep, or auction them. And then you'll play different mini games it mentions on different sections of the board, all in the goal of getting the most money here. So let's just look at this little graphic here. Choose a resource action and auction. So maybe you do just get to put 1 card in each. And then it looks like you use a timer. And this is called a Dutch auction, I think, where basically the longer you stay in the auction, the more you have to pay, I think. Or wait, no, sorry, this is reversed. The longer you wait, the cheaper you pay. And so you don't want anyone else to like... By you staying in too long, you're allowing someone else to get it cheaper. But if it is going long, you don't want to be the one that like go first, because then you could get something cheap. It's kind of the tension there. Anyways, so lots going on with these little boards. Dr. Knizia does a lot of auction games that people really love. I don't know if this is a reworking of an earlier game of his, but it doesn't mention that, I don't think, if it is. Anyways, that's Merchants of Andromeda. And then the third one is called Waddle. And where are you at? Right here. I do like penguins. And I do like their line of games that fit in this size of box. I have probably 4 of them. And in this one, you're trying to place your penguins on these tiles. I guess real quick, I do like this line. They have our 1 minute to teach line, which includes mountain goats, which I have, lure, which I don't have, but I do want to get that one. And you're placing out tiles, then you're placing out your penguin meeples, and then I do like the turn order track is these 2 marble tracks. And let me see. So you put the penguins out, trying to get them next to fish to catch fish points. And then once you pass, then you take your marble from one track, put it in the next track, and you'll be first in the next round. So the earlier you pass, you can be first in the next round. But once you pass, you don't get to take any more actions in that round. So a bit of a balance there. A lot of games do that. And then you score waddles. So anyways, looks like a cute little tiny game to add to their little box line. I think this campaign looks really cool. It's a ways to scroll up here to the top, but this one is on Kickstarter. And this might give you a headache from all the scrolling until also Thursday. A lot of them ending on Thursday, February 13th. Whew, a couple more, Devin, I think.
I didn't want to send over. Let's try again.
Doesn't like us. The next one is probably the 4th in a series made by Button Shy Games, and they make little wallet games. I have quite a few of theirs. Most of their games come in a little wallet, and they try to make the game play in 18 cards. Is kind of their shtick. Their most popular game is called Allplay, and in the game you put 15 of the 18 cards down trying to make a good city, and the other 3 cards you draw first at the beginning, and they'll tell you like what you're trying to score for on the back during that game. So whichever 3 you get, varies from game to game, and they kind of determine, okay, I'm trying to have these grouped next to these, and long rows or short rows or this or blah, blah, blah. And then you use the other 15 cards that you draw one at a time, I think, to build out a cool little city. They've had Sprawlopolis and Agropolis and Natureopolis and Combopolis, and then this one is Casinopolis about it. Similar idea, just with the casino vibe and slightly different rules. So they're very cool. I do like their games, especially if you play games solo or like travel a lot. Putting one in your pocket is pretty cool. So I wanted to give that a shout out. I'm sure most people have heard of either Sprawlopolis or any of the others I've named. So you'll know if you're interested in that. That one is on Kickstarter until Saturday, the 15th. All right, a company from, I can't remember where Grail Games is from. Are they from Australia or New Zealand? Australia, yeah. I really like them as a company. They make like smaller games. I just got one from them called Snowcrest like 3 months ago, and I really liked it. And they are, I think, relaunching a line they've done before called their Pocket Game Collection. And this is 3 games in these small boxes that you can get from them. They are such a small publisher that sometimes their games don't come to like retail later. But some of them do as well. The 3 games are Farmhand. And this one is a trick-taking game where the cards have values from, I think, 1 to... Doesn't look like all the suits are actually 1 to 7, but they're different suits. The unique part of this one is you're trying to win a certain number of tricks, but the backs of the cards show the suit of the card, but not the number. So everyone knows from the backs of your cards what suits you have, just not what numbers. Which is probably makes it a bit more thinky in your head, where you're trying to like remember which numbers have been played, and then you can see which suits everyone has. Kind of cool. Then fjords. Here, you're trying to build a cool little fjord, and then with these little tiles. And I think it says then you, where does it say? You begin from a longhouse you place during phase 1 and will walk the landscape, claiming as much of the plains and cliffs as possible, and kind of like a route, area control kind of thing there. Again, very cool, small box. Fits in, a little hard to tell what the dimensions are on that, but it looks like a matchbox size. I don't know. And then the last one is also a trick-taking game, but for 2 players, which is kind of a rare genre, but there are quite a few. So that doesn't make any sense. I said rare, then quite a few. There are some, maybe is a better way to say that. So if you want to get any of those games from Grail Games, you can do that on Kickstarter until, I think it might also be the 15th. Am I correct? Nope, Monday, February 17th. Is there any more, Devin, or was that the last one for us this week?
That is it.
That was the last one. So out of those 6 projects, Devin, that we just looked at, which one is your pick of the week for February 7th, 2025?
It was a pretty easy choice this week.
Was it?
For me.
Okay.
Yeah, by a long shot. I don't know why, but A Place for All My Books takes the cake for me.
Okay. I do think that one looks very cool. I want to see if it would pop back up. Here we go. Place for All My Books. I love how the books look.
Agreed.
And
it just felt homey and nice, and I want to be there.
It's true. Sometimes a game just has that kind of vibe. It kind of reminds me of a Flamecraft or something, where it's like, nobody here is going to hurt me. It's just kind of like fun. We're all doing something together. And if I do it slightly better than you during scoring, then hooray. But everyone had fun, even if they didn't win. You know, kind of a happy vibe. Definitely has that. Cool. I think this is a tough one for me. I do think that one that you chose is a good one. I think my pick is going to go to the Allplay bundle, though, with those 3 games. I feel like they do a really great job of making, especially in their Well, a lot of game in a small box is kind of their shtick for especially the smaller ones, but even the games that come in slightly bigger boxes. And they've had a bit of a partnership with the Good Doctor lately. They reprinted Through the Desert and maybe one other of his games. So I'm looking at this one very closely. I'm not sure if I want all three of them, but I do think I want Merchants of Andromeda and Waddle. But then you're like, okay, 39, so almost 40 plus 20, so you're at 60, 58, $8. And if I wanted the expansions, I'm like at 70. Like, okay, do I just do 97 to get all three plus all these bonus things? Then if I was to resell it, I'd make more. I don't know. These questions that I go through in my mind are kind of crazy. They also do this cool thing. If you do the all-in bundle, they send you this wooden medallion. Has a unique code on the back. And that code will let you get one of their smaller games for free later. So they know how to hook you.
They know what they're doing.
They do. They definitely do. But I think they do a lot right over there. That's going to be my pick of the week. And that's it for Crowdfunding Corner here for the week of February 7th, 2025. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week for number 46. Thank you so much for watching this video. As most of you know, gaming top-down is an independent endeavor. I don't accept money from publishers for previews or opinion-related content. But there are a few ways that you can support the channel and help me keep the lights on. Liking this video and subscribing to the channel helps me to grow. If you're thinking of getting a game that I covered in this video, please click the affiliate link in the description of this video. It helps to support me and doesn't add any cost to your purchase. I also do a weekly gaming podcast where I talk about the board games that I'm playing along with my brother. You can check that out on Apple's podcasts and on Spotify. And you can also get that podcast 3 days early over on our Patreon. You can follow the Patreon at patreon.com/supergamebrothers completely for free. But if you do support us over there, you get some extra perks like being able to write into the show, getting early access to the show, voting on the games that I'm going to cover and review, and lots of other fun stuff. Thanks so much for your support, for liking and commenting on my videos. You really are what helped keep the lights on for me. Thank you.